You're watching E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Share and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob. This is probably going to be the only video today. Now, I just want to say real quick, I've been getting tons and tons of requests, whether it's in the comment section of the videos, whether it's in private message on Facebook or even on Twitter. And I want you guys to know I'm going to get to a lot of topics. It's a marathon. You know, I don't want, back in the day, I know some of you guys are like, oh, Rob's back to doing videos. And I know back in the day, I used to pump out 4 or 5 videos a day, and at least 1 to 2 Godzilla videos a day. And there is still a lot to talk about. There's still a lot I want to do, but I don't want to do it all at once. You know, I kind of want to, kind of let things formulate. You never know when something's going to happen. We might get if a new TV spot drops or a new, thing of news. One common request I'm getting is to talk about spoilers. And yes, I do read leaks. Whether the leaks are real or not remains to be seen. So I will do a video discussing leaks, and I'm probably going to do that one tomorrow. As far as the other videos I had planned, I'm still working on how I would do it. So it's probably going to be a couple of days later, probably early next week. I have a stream tonight on Fat Samurai Guy's channel. So I had to pump out watching 3 movies in the last 16 hours. So I just finished watching the last one earlier today. That took away most of my day. But this particular topic, I wanted to at least discuss this one today because it's a hot topic that's been gaining a little bit of steam the last 24 hours. And it's about this theory that Godzilla or Baby Godzilla could be in the movie. Now, I did see 3C, I think it's 3C film. Somebody did link this, and I saw it, and I thought it was a good video, and he is very entertaining to watch. And I did see some people reference his video in the comment section, but even before that, I kind of started seeing whispers of people talking about this. And then Steve Miller, who's also known as the Kaijuologist, he has his own vlog, wrote a very nice article about it. So I'm going to leave that link in the description if you want to read that. I'm a mad scientist. I'm all about crazy theories, okay? And sometimes my crazy theories have come true. Now, one I will tell you that came true is not going to seem so crazy right now because it's actually happening. But when I talked about it 5 years ago, 6 years ago now, maybe, yeah, almost 6 years ago, people thought I was crazy. They didn't think it was going to happen. And that was when Legendary revealed that they were doing Skull Island, because at the time they revealed that information, there was no link that this was going to be in the monsterverse. It was just another Kong movie. And there was no information about any possibility of Godzilla versus Kong. There was no, at the early stages, no information regarding it being part of the monsterverse. And I made a video about Godzilla versus Kong and the theory that that movie's gonna come. And back then, people were telling me, no, I'm crazy, it's not gonna happen, blah, 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 blah. Here we are years later. And thank God, when we did get Godzilla versus Kong announced, and some people went back to that video and at least gave me some credit. Most times when people are adamant that you're wrong and then you turn out to be right, they're nowhere to be seen. Nobody likes to admit that, okay, you were right. So I'm not against crazy theories. This one right here, I love it because it is crazy and I admire that. I'm not sure if it's 3C that came up with this theory. I'm not sure if it's something that came out before and he's just kind of going with it and talking about it. Here's what I will say. First of all, I don't like to say that I don't like to say impossible when it comes to anything. We've seen so many things happen in entertainment over the last couple of years that we all thought were impossible that I don't put it by at all that, certain things can't happen. A good example, everybody thought it would be impossible or that Spider-Man would never come to the Marvel Cinematic Universe because it was owned by Sony, and boom, it happened. Nobody thought we were going to get a Godzilla vs. Kong movie. Here we are, so it's like, do I think that's going to happen in this movie? I'm going to say no, not because the theory is crazy, simply because I just don't see the room for it. I don't see any room for Baby Godzilla. And I'll be honest, I'm not for it. I'm not. Just like I wasn't for Mechagodzilla in this movie, I'm actually not for Baby Godzilla at all in the monsterverse, simply because while we've seen evidence that there have been creatures related to Godzilla, like Dagon and all that kind of stuff, the idea of him out of nowhere having a baby or having an egg, I don't see it. You know, I know a lot of people are referencing the egg that they showed at the end of King of the Monsters, you know, and they kind of put a question mark as to whether or not it was a moth or egg. I've heard people say that Mike Doherty confirmed that it was a moth or egg. I just don't recall seeing that myself. I got to be honest. But I would lean that it's probably a moth or egg. And quite honestly, what Mike Doherty did say, if I'm not mistaken, that was a guarantee, was that the Ghidorah head would play off in this movie. And obviously we know that. I even did a video where I had the footage of him saying it. I believe it's still on my channel because sometimes I get hit for copyright infringement and then I have to delete things. But D-Man can vouch for me because I gave him a link to where I found that some time ago. So in terms of the end credit scene, Mike Doherty also said that they were having fun and doing Easter eggs. Some of those things might play out, some of them may not. I'm betting a great majority of them are not. The thing of it is, we don't want to take too much away in this movie that it's about Godzilla, it's about Kong, and even Mecha Godzilla to a certain extent. You throw in a Baby Godzilla, that kind of throws an indirect monkey wrench into everything. You know what I mean? The idea that Godzilla is running around looking for the egg and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that makes perfect sense if you wanted to use a Godzilla egg as the narrative for why Godzilla's going buck wild. But I guess my question would be like, well, if that's why he's going crazy, then what's the point of Mecha Godzilla? So that means Mecha Godzilla just shows up out of nowhere and decides to wreck. You know, this is, of course, giving credit to the fact that they actually came up with a story that involves Mecha Godzilla and his purpose. And I'm going to safely assume that that's what they did and hope. Again, I'm over here closing my notifications. I know they just went off. I tend to forget to close that before doing a video. So I think, look, I love the mad scientist theory of Baby Godzilla. And if it were to come true, man, that would be some crazy stuff. I just think it would take away from what I believe is supposed to be a movie about primarily two monsters and maybe to a small degree a mech, you know what I mean? Throwing in the Baby Godzilla into the mix, I don't know. And not only that, there's more evidence leaning, you know, and it's not conclusive, I understand that, but there's more evidence leaning that it's a Mothra egg. I mean, just look at the historics and what they did with Mothra. We had an egg in the beginning of King of the Monsters. The egg hatched, it turned into a full-grown Mothra, and by the end, it was dead. And what happens after a Mothra dies? Usually shortly thereafter, an egg hatches. This doesn't mean we're going to see Mothra necessarily hatch at the end of, or at some point in this movie, but I think that little Easter egg at the end of the King of the Monsters was to kind of tell fans, hey, look, we know this is the deal. Even though we're putting it into question, you guys know this is a Mothra egg. She always finds a way to come back. And I think that's really what that was. I don't think anything's going to be bridged from that. Even Mothra herself, I don't think is necessarily going to show up in this movie. You know, and there might be a cameo of the egg. Maybe they're saying, oh, you know, Mothra, she'll come back one day, maybe leaving the door open. Who knows? We might get something like that. But a Baby Godzilla would just kind of throw everything out of wax. You know, there's been no evidence so far to lead that there's a second Godzilla, other than the fact that there once was one that has been long dead. That second Godzilla or Baby Godzilla theory has been tossed around in the monsterverse for a very long time, even going as far back as 2014. There were theories back then that there were two Godzillas in the movie. Obviously, that did not come to pass. The only thing we do know was the skeletons, but no, people literally thought there were two actual Godzillas in 2014. That theory resurfaced in 2019 as well. People thought there were two Godzillas in that movie, and that one Godzilla would die and the other one would rise up to take out, you know, I've heard it all. I've heard it all. And I always love, like I said, I always love crazy theories because I'm a mad scientist when it comes to my theories, when it comes to theorizing myself. I just think from a narrative standpoint, the chances of getting a Baby Godzilla tossed into this movie, I think it's slim. I think it's slim to none. If anything, I'd be more willing to believe a Baby Godzilla in a movie if we actually got like a Destroyer type movie, because that kind of makes sense. They can do a lot of the things they did with the Toho movies. And who knows, if by some miracle he shows up in this movie, maybe that's what it's going to be for. And maybe he won't play a role in this at all. But I think it's safe to bet that it's not going to be a Baby Godzilla. In fact, I'm willing to bet we're not going to see the egg at all. And if we do, it's going to be for a very brief moment, maybe just to give fans confirmation that Mothra is alive or that another Mothra is on the way. And I would see that more as them kind of leaving the door open in case they want to continue the monsterverse in a different direction. But, you got to remember, too, every monster from Toho that shows up in this universe costs them money. It's not they pay Toho a certain amount of money and they have access to the whole library. No. Every monster has a price tag. And this is why we saw Ghidorah, Rodan, Mothra play big roles. This is why we're seeing Godzilla being the main, hero, if you want, of this series. This is why, while I don't think we'll see a great deal of Mechagodzilla, I think we'll see enough of him that obviously he's going to play a significant role. I don't think he's going to be more prominent in the movie as of obviously Kong and Godzilla, but they're going to get their money's worth out of that. So yeah, if you bring in Baby Godzilla, that's more money you got to pay the Toho. Do they want to do that to keep him in an egg for the whole movie and only have him as a plot device? I don't see it. So I know there's some people I know there's people that want to see that. I don't know why. I've always thought the Minyas, the Manillas, and the Baby Godzillas of the world, quite frankly, were trash. I know I'm going to anger a lot of fans for that. I just don't. I never liked the idea of Godzilla having a kid. You know what I mean? I always find it kind of dorky. It doesn't matter what era it's in. Heisei, it doesn't matter. I just found, you see this big raging monster, and then you see this little, and he looks all cute. I don't know. It just kind of takes me. It's one thing I've never liked about, the Showa or the Heisei or the whole Baby Godzilla thing is just doesn't do it for me. So if I saw it in a Legendary movie, I'd probably laugh even as a hardcore kaiju fan. And I know I'm probably triggering a lot of G fans right now that have a love for Baby Godzilla, but I'm being honest. I gotta be frank. I just think the idea of a Baby Godzilla in any universe, be it by Toho or Legendary, is absolutely comical. And if anything, I'm more confident that Legendary would make it look more legit than Toho did, because until he became Godzilla Jr., he looked like a joke. It doesn't matter which one. If you talk about the one from Space Godzilla, if you're talking about the one from back in the 60s, if you're talking about Manila, they all just look too dorky for me to ever give two shits about. Honestly, it's just how I feel. So when I have the stigma that when I think about Baby Godzilla or a child Godzilla, it's like triggers automatic trash. Like this trash, garbage. Like I don't want to see it. It makes Godzilla just look weak to me, even though he's not weak. And yes, animals can have kids. I get that. I just can't see it. You know what I mean? Yet at the same time, like I said, I think Legendary would probably do it appropriately. They wouldn't make him look all cutesy and dorky. He'd probably look like a true animal hatching out of an egg, looking like a miniature Godzilla that's not, but I like the theory because of the mad science behind it, but I pray to God, and I will sincerely pray every day, 10 Hail Marys or 10 Rodans, whatever, that theory never sees the light of day, because I think I've never been a fan of the whole kid Godzilla. I'm sorry, it's not for me. It's just not. So, but overall, being objective, no, I think it's a cool theory. I think it can play into the plot the way it's been explained, but I think it takes too much away from the story. And I think the chances of it happening are about as good as my Mechagodzilla being disguised theory. How's that? Okay, I think that's fair. All right, guys. Anyway, that's it. I just kind of wanted to talk about it because I'm already getting questions. I've gotten comments in the videos, and I'm seeing it kind of see the light of day a little bit. So, we'll see what happens. We'll talk more crazy theories. So anyway, if you want to hang out on Fat Samurai Guy's channel tonight, I'll be there 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We won't be talking about Godzilla. We're going to be talking about 3 movies that were kind of put up against each other. And then Friday and Saturday night, we'll be streaming here on the channel, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're a member, you definitely want to be present. I'm going to be announcing the first watch party, the first member stream, as well as other things regarding members. And we'll also be discussing other topics you guys want to discuss regarding either Godzilla versus Kong or anything else for that matter. So anyway, that's it for this video. I'll see you guys soon. This is Rob signing off for E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy.
Thank you for watching E.T.N. Click here to watch more content. Don't forget to leave a comment. Also, make sure you like and share this video. If you want to know when the next video is up, click the notification bell next to the subscribe button. And most of all, make sure to click that subscribe button for regular content.